let's do our greenkeeper out of bounds. You might recall that an out of bounds, some type of out of bounds is required. Okay, so if you're only doing 1 or 2 holes, you could just do an out of bounds around those 1 or 2 holes. In this case, I have a finished course, so I'm going to do it around the entire perimeter. And I'm gonna show you how to do this, but I'm not gonna get into the details of you watching me how to do this, because it's gonna be really boring and it would be a long video. So again, remember we can move around in here, and if I come over here and I go to my OOB operation, there's a handy dandy bunny here for top-down view, which automatically squares me up to look down on my course. It comes in really handy as you're moving around. You can always, if you get pointed over here, you can always hit F3 and now you're pointed down again. So we need to add our OB. Now when I'm way out like this, I like to turn my marker size way up, okay? And it can start clicking. Now, one thing you're going to notice, when I click, I immediately added 3, I'm going to call these nodes, okay? The green one is my highlighted one, and my red ones are the ones, well, not highlighted, okay? And before I do anything else, let me show you something else. Let me back way up, let me delete those, and now let me click again. Nothing's happening, right? Well, that's because I'm too far out. You're gonna find that when you're manipulating stuff, if you're too far zoomed out, sometimes things don't work, so you have to zoom back in. And I'm just gonna start my out of bounds kind of like right over here, okay? And now I have my 3 initial nodes. Now, if I click, it will add a new node, okay? And if I highlight and drag, it'll move that node. If I want to remove a node, I make it green by clicking on it, hit number 2, and it now deletes that node. I can also add a node by highlighting a green node and hitting 1. And now it'll place 1 between 2 nodes, okay? Now what I find though initially is I kind of zoom out as far as I can where things still work. So this is a good spot. And what I do is I just pretty much click around my course. And I don't get too granular yet, all right? And I'm just gonna actually do this very broad terms, all right? You can see I'm just going around the perimeter. Let me put this up here. Is it still working? Yep. Oh, I'm too far away now. You see, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. And again, I'm just gonna run around this perimeter here, click, click, click. I'm not really being too precise at this point. I'm just getting a few markers out there. And I'm hitting my, I might have I put it into drawing mode here. Hold on a second. Reset zoom, exit drawing, sorry. That is something you won't run into. That was my editing software. Here, I'm too far out again, so I have to zoom in just a tad. And now I have a general OB, and that's actually good enough just to have the course load. But after I do this, now's when I'm gonna go in and zoom in and adjust this. So really what I want is I want my OB to be like here in the water in these spots. And if I need an area that I need to get much more precise, let's say here, I want a few more dots because I want to get more precise because I want this to cut across. I can highlight a dot, I can hit number 1, and now I got another dot, and I can move these. I can also change my marker size if I want to get really precise. Let's say this line with this vegetation right here, I wanted to get very precise. I do know that also in this course there are some fences that you can see here. So maybe I want to go here. I can click, whoops, hit 2. I'm going to hit the number 1 key to add one, and maybe even add a couple, and then just kind of move these into place. And if I change that marker size to be even smaller, I could get very granular here and getting my OB to match right on top of this stone fence that we're talking about here. But now you got the idea. And if for some reason you want to start from scratch, you can always hit delete and start from scratch. And I can always go back to my top-down view, like always, and then you know the navigation keys to move around the course.